is Sean Kudelkas, and I'm going to talk to you about the great president, JFK. JFK was to honor, this speech is to honor the 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy. A good president is not just someone who can speak grammatically, who knows the people. A good president is someone who is really going to change the world instead of just talking about it. A good president is someone who does what he says instead of just putting it off for whenever it actually needs to be done. As a kid that was not yet born when JFK was in office, I still have so much respect for him. The most inspirational quote from him and any other I've ever heard was, "Ask not what you can do for your country, or ask not what the country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." Ever since I heard that for the first time, I had to research him some, and after knowing what I know about JFK, I've determined that he was really what our country was in need of. Everyone believes that as well, and when the assassination happened, it was one of the worst things that has ever happened to our country. My name is Sean Kudelkas, and I believe that JFK has put more into this country than any other president has or ever will after this. I think that many others believe the same thing. There are not many people at all that I could care more for than JFK and what he has done and how he has formed the United States the way it is today. The first thing I will present to you, to my audience, are some of the particular events that led the JFK to be one of the best things that has ever happened to the United States. After that, I will then show you what we as America have put in honor of JFK. It is quite hard to figure out where to start due to all the achievements, but first of all, JFK had the dedication and the determination of being the best president that has ever been, and that is what he was. He has many accomplishments that changed our country forever. One of the first things JFK did once in office was to create the Peace Corps. The Peace Corps is an American volunteer program that's run by the U.S. government. People who decided to join the Peace Corps worked usually about 27 months of like 3 years. And their assistance included studies of education, business, information technology, and agricultural for the government or for whoever really needed it, actually. The Peace Corps has affected our relationship with other countries, and an effect it had made the United States as a whole. Third world countries have had the greatest effect of the Peace Corps because it was created to help them and help how they live and survive in poverty. Kennedy's first domestic program was known as the New Frontier. This program introduced federal funding for the education, medical care for the elderly, as well as aid to the rural areas of the United States and any other country. The most important thing that JFK had done was to get people involved with their country, and he did that with flying colors. A quote from JFK showed another amazing accomplishment of his, saying, "This nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before the decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth." This one quote inspired the United States and the space program to work longer and harder on the space program to make it perfect, and it worked. The extent of Kennedy's involvement in Vietnam remained classified until the release of the Pentagon Papers in 1971, a quote written by the Pentagon Papers, and why it would remain classified is unknown. All we people know is that Kennedy helped add more soldiers to the Vietnam to help out. Doubled the amount, actually, for the safety of our country. He also helped out in many other ways, but some believe that Kennedy assisted in provoking the enemy even more, but that is totally wrong. He wanted to help, and he helped dramatically. There are a few of the amazing accomplishments those are a few of the accomplishments that JFK accomplished within his presidency, and there are many others. The future has changed ever since. Even with only 2 years in office, the country knew how to repay his gratitude and excellence by renaming places after him and building things for him as well. The John F. Kennedy Airport was named after JFK 1 month after his assassination to show their love of the 35th President of the United States of America. The JFK Memorial was built in Dallas, only 200 yards away where JFK was assassinated, in remembrance of him. It is intended to be not a memorial to the pain and sorrow of death, but a permanent tribute to the joy and excitement of one man's life. That is what the people who had built the American Monument have said. There are countless schools named after JFK. as well. These include John F. Kennedy Center for Performing Arts, as well as Kennedy Middle School and JFK High School. Many anonymous votes assured many American structures to rename or build certain buildings as a memorial for our later president, John F. Kennedy. After listening to my speech on JFK, I am sure that has gotten to all of you and to think remember his accomplishments. For those 2 short years, JFK changed the country more dramatically than any other president in our history. I am quite pleased and not shocked at all that there are so many memorials for John F. Kennedy. I believe he deserves even more than the close to 50 different structures in his name. A good president is one that believes in his country and does what everyone believes is right. And JFK is great for that. He never put false hope into our country and did the best he could to make our country wonderful. He cared for the world despite the aggression and hate that some countries may have had for us. Even though I was never able to actually see JFK at work, I believe he is still a hero to me as well. I believe too many other Americans in this fine country. I do not believe that our country would be at all what it is today without help from this amazing president. I envy every person who is alive to listen and be affected by the impact of JFK, even though I still feel impacted by him. The day that John F. Kennedy was shot would have depressed me forever, and I know how people must have felt. Without his leading world in our history, the United States would not have had the luck to witness his greatness. I will always praise this president with my whole heart. He changed everything for the best, and he will always be remembered. John Fitzgerald Jack Kennedy. Thank you.